Today we are going to talk about the OutIn Nano Espresso Maker. Now, I've been using this thing for a couple weeks and I've been promising to do a full review video on it. And today is the day. It is pouring down rain and freezing cold outside. So I thought, what a great opportunity to stay inside and make some coffee. So let's jump right into it. Right off the bat, the OutIn Nano Espresso Maker. This is a very lightweight, portable espresso machine. And when I say lightweight, it's about 680 grams. So it's less than 700 grams. And it fits perfectly into any water bottle holder that you might have in your backpack or in your cup holder in your car. So very easy to transport, lightweight. It's also completely waterproof. So if you're out on an outdoor adventure and you do get drenched with rain, don't worry about this thing shorting out. The components are completely protected. So very versatile machine. It works with fresh coffee grounds or these little nano pods that you'd use for like an espresso maker. Getting into some basic specs on the OutIn Nano, it has what they call 20 pounds of bar pressure. Now, for the non-coffee geeks out there, bar pressure refers to the amount of force the water is pressed through the grounds and the coffee is extracted. Common bar pressure in most commercial espresso makers is between 7 and 9 bars of pressure. So a bar actually refers to the Earth's atmospheric pressure. So that's your gravitational pull. Roughly 14.5 pounds per square inch, I think is the number. Don't quote me on that. Not a math guy. But suffice to say, this far outperforms most commercial machines when it comes to extraction. So think of bar pressure as the higher the bar pressure, the better the crema you're going to get out of the coffee. Now, having said that, too much bar pressure can also make for a really bitter cup of coffee. So you want to make sure you pack your grounds accordingly. That's the details. Let's jump into the fun part of it. I want to make a couple of different cups of coffee. We're going to use starting off with the pods. These are decaf coffee. I know, sorry, but the flavor is still great. These pods are very simple. This one is designed to make up to a 6-ounce cup of coffee. We're going to use it just for a single extraction, which is going to make a much bolder, richer coffee. So it's pretty simple and easy to use. All you do is you open up the bottom piece. This is for the fresh grounds, but we're going to slip over to this one, which is designed for the pods. The pod fits in nicely. And you put the pieces back together, screw it all in, and then we're going to add in our water. Now, it does have a water capacity of 80 milliliters. You're going to lose a little bit of water to evaporation and steam as it's making it. Depending on the amount of grounds and the richness of your roast, the recommendation is to stick to right around 50 milliliters, and that's going to give you a good shot and a half. I'm going to put in the full 80 milliliters because I know that the pod we're using is designed for a larger extraction. So once we put the lid on, then you do a 2-second hold of the button. It's going to beep. There's the beep. And you're going to see the lights are going to start to flash. What this is the water is heating up to its ideal temperature. And that is, I believe it's 198 degrees. I'll fact check myself. But once it reaches that 198 degrees, then the extraction process is going to happen. Now the heating process with just basic room temperature water is going to take slightly over 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes, and you've got a nice good blend. As the espresso maker comes up to temperature, you'll notice that the lights also change. It starts off with one flashing light, and as it reaches its temperature, we'll achieve all 4 flashing lights. Once you've got your 4 lights, that means it's hit that optimum temperature, and then it'll begin the extraction process. And that part is my favorite part, because just the smell and the richness of the coffee is just awesome to watch. And we've got our 4 lights, so the extraction process is going to get ready to start here. There we have it. A rich, creamy homemade espresso. Cheers. That is good. Now, what I've found, as I mentioned earlier, depending on the type of pod you're using, it's going to really affect the flavor profile of your coffee. Again, these pods that I'm using are designed to make up to a 6-ounce cup of espresso. Our Nano is designed for a 1.5-ounce espresso. So consider that when you're purchasing your pods. The darker roast pods are going to come up with a very dark, rich, flavorful brew. If you have a light roast or a medium roast, that's going to be closer to that flavor profile that you'd be expecting for a standard espresso. All in all, though, it makes an excellent espresso in a fraction of the time, and you certainly didn't have to drive to the store. The best part, I want to clean things up here. We're going to reset, and then we'll dig into the fresh coffee grounds and see how that brew process works too. So bear with me as I drink up. Probably a good thing I'm drinking decaf, because I'm going to be consuming a lot of espresso today. All right, let's dig into the fresh grounds and see how that process works. For that, we actually need to replace the cylinder. There's a tray that holds your fresh grounds, and the kit actually comes with this great little cup and tamper, so it's easy to measure out the right amount of grounds. And then we want to make sure we pack it in nice and firm so that you get that optimum extraction. Put the lid back on. And then we put that pod back into the Nano Espresso Machine. Then we're going to start the whole process over again. We are going to add in, this time, I only want to do the 50 milliliters of water. And we'll bring that up to temperature, and we'll have another cup of coffee. Remember, it's just a single push. Hold it for 2 seconds. Once the beep starts, then the heating process begins again. Now, the folks at OutIn were generous enough to provide a discount code in exchange for me trying out this machine. I'll leave a link to it in the description. If you use that discount code, it'll give you 10% off your purchase if you want to try a machine of your own. Waiting is the hardest part. Yeah, I won't quit my day job. All right, remember, once you get up to the 4 lights, that means the extraction process is about to begin. And we should get a nice rich crema. All right. Ooh, that looks good. I'm not going to pause, but try and get a better picture of the crema here, because this is, oh, it's so delicious. I know, not high-class cinema. So using the fresh grounds really helps you cater the amount of richness that you want out of your coffee versus using the pods where it's a preset quantity. Using the fresh grounds, this is a much smoother, milder roast. Absolutely delicious. It's very much a sipping coffee at this point, whereas using the pod was like drinking a nice espresso. Could certainly make any number of drinks out of this. All in all, I can call it a great success. Yes, I should be out hiking. Am I going to go today? Not a chance. So I know this is a little bit different than our normal format, but I had so many questions and I had been promising to get this review out. So I thought today was a great opportunity. Thanks for sticking around and checking out the Nano Espresso Machine. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll try and get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you out there on the trail next time.